You have the rhetoric and you have the evidence, the truth of the matter. The rhetoric is all cops aren't racist, all cops aren't like this way. The truth of the matter is that institution of policing has been consistent since the origins of policing. Slave catcher before your policing. So you've always had a history of undermining black folk. So if you're angry, you should be angry. You should be angry because another black person died at the hands of the motherfucking police who were professed and told and actually swore to protect people like us. But if you're a logical motherfucker and you peep consistency, they've never been here to protect you. They've never been here to protect you. How many reiterations do I need? This is why we have a deference in perception when it comes to white folks looking at police and black folks. White folks trust them. Hey, hi, you wave at them. They're monitoring our neighborhood so the bad people don't come in. Bad people being us. Whereas when they go to your neighborhoods, they looking to kick ass. They looking to whoop ass. They looking to arrest. When they arrest in their neighborhoods, they arrest people that look like you for being in their neighborhoods. So don't be unaware of the motherfucking consistency. These institutions in place have been consistent. I don't care about rhetoric. I don't care about people saying some cops, we know that some people are good in these institutions. No matter what fucking institution, we know that some people in them are good. But the institution in itself supersedes the good fucking apples that you want to fucking point out. The institution will be consistently creating motherfuckers like that guy, that one individual. We're going to individualize a much more general problem here. That guy, yes, he should be arrested. He should be treated accordingly, however that may be for being a sicko. However that may be for being a sicko. Racism is a sickness. But you have to acknowledge the much broader problem of the institution that creates these sickos. And then people say, what should we do? What are the phases? The first phase is awareness. You can't combat an enemy you don't know. If you think these institutions are not your enemy and your allies, if you are navigating through these institutions with the intention that the institution is going to uplift you at the end of the day, then awareness is the only step for you. The step of continuity, the step of getting together, the step of actually employing a strategy that can stifle this long-standing opposition. You got to understand, we're not at the state of mind to employ strategy, to employ the art of war yet. Miles behind. So raising awareness, talking about realizing your enemy, talking about things that need to be spoken of in regards to systemic and institutional racism. Let's get beyond individual assholes. Please. Let's talk about your governing body being racist. Let's talk about the institution of policing being racist. Let's talk about every institution being founded on racist. Your concept of how this shit started with Darwinism is racist. Your schooling is racist. You have to start from fucking bottom up. If you believe in any of that shit, if you still believe in these candidates, if you believe that your vote as a black person will make your life better and will alleviate racism, have you not seen the consistency of racism still existing? You think that's individual problems? It's institutional problems. So if you still cast your vote with the belief that one of these white people in protection of this institution, white or black, Obama didn't protect you like you fucking think. And that's the thing. I say things like we have to raise awareness first because a lot of y'all still think the president will protect you. Regardless of who the fuck that nigga is. The president will protect the lobbyists who fund his whole campaign. And those lobbyists, when you start looking them up and their agenda of eugenics or racism somehow Somehow through their lineage, you're going to see they look at you as inferior. You're going to start understanding why they keep killing you and why they will keep killing you until you form a formidable opposition. When I say you, I say me. I am you, motherfucker, until we form a formidable opposition. But phase one is raising awareness. Phase one is knowing that everything you've been put on is to sicken you. So your diet has been to weaken you because your opposition gave you your diet. The European gave you your diet. Not saying all Europeans are opposition, but if you're in alignment with that concept that justifies a murder, you're with them. You're an enemy. If you ever justify a black unarmed murder, you're with them, according to my eyes. But I'm segueing, but if you justify a murder, or if back to the just looking at the origins of every concept you've picked up from your diet. You're eating a European diet as an African. So you're mentally ill. You're physically ill. You're not going to be able to flourish as an African. You're not thriving at a high capacity. You've been indoctrinated by European history, by the European religion. So the first phase is getting out of the indoctrination of sickness of white supremacy. Some of y'all still believe in Charles Darwin and survival of the fittest, like your African ass was fending for your survival before Europeans came. You gotta think. They had an ice age, tough times. Survival had to be for the fit. Therefore, the concept. You in Africa bearing fruits and veggies and having plentiful land and resources, there's no need to think like that. Survival of the fittest. There's no need to think like that when life is plentiful, when everybody can eat. It wasn't until they took your resources, took your land, gave you a fucked up diet, and indoctrinated you in a European fashion that you come to believe that you now come to believe that your natural way of living is unimportant. You won't even get fucking sun. You won't even comply to your natural ordinance. You rather comply to their doctrines. Phase one is getting out of their system, getting out of their structure. Phase two will become strategy, and that will be in every format. How we educate our children, how we feed ourselves, the doctrines we listen to. Appealing to white figures for information is only white figures. Not saying there aren't knowledgeable, informed white people that I don't feed off of, but only appealing to the white information person and looking as a black person who gives out the information as ignorant. You gotta change your perception on black. You gotta change your perception on melanin. You gotta change your perception on what you think racism is. Y'all still think racism is an individual thing. Y'all still think it's a Klan member hating or these two cops shooting. It's a subset. The real racism is a concept. How do you apply strategy? Institution after institution. What's an institution? Schooling. What's an institution? Policing. What's an institution? Our governing body. So we want to propagate racism through these institutions. If you don't believe in this institutional racism, all your big organizations, your top media, like NBC reports this news, you think they care about you? So, though the news is probably verifiable and accurate that another black person was killed, gotta question why they even gave it to you in this time. Are they here to stagnate our are they here to, okay, let's keep you informed, black man, so you can survive? Or are they here to give you that information and leave you in despair? To leave you traumatized? 9 minutes, I want to keep it 10 minutes for Instagram, but fuck that woke shit y'all talking about. Enlighten yourself. Fuck that general constructed version of woke. That means you know socially aware issues. Enlighten yourself. Then you see the power that you got. Then you see how you can combat this external realm. When you internalize, you'll see how you have the capacity and the power, especially as a collective. If we all get on that wave, you see how easy this shit have become. That's 10 minutes. It's your boy Dame. Racism is consistent. It's an ideology into practice. It won't stop until there's another formidable opponent to stop it.